is up, Bite the Bullet family? Yo, if you're watching this on YouTube, that is bad because I did not format our intro correctly, so I apologize on that one. That's completely my bad. But
thanks, Trish.
Oh man, but yo, you guys know we like to bring the truth. We like to bring the real, so we try our best not to be unapologetic because things happen the way they do, and in relationships, it is no different. And this week, we are coming with a real question: do women / men come to the table with unrealistic expectations?
Bro, you could have said and or. You could have said and or.
Well, Trish already fussed at me behind the scenes, and I felt intimidated because I feel like Trish, like if we ever got face to face, I feel like Trish could beat me. You know what I'm saying? Like she would like hit me or punch me or something, and I just go down like real quick, like one of those.
But both of y'all vegans, so y'all gonna be fighting for a long time. But Jay, if you fought me, being that I'm a meat lover, I'm gonna be out in like 1 minute. You're gonna have mad stamina. I did learn that about veganism. Like my stamina will be definitely down to compared to yours.
Oh, true that. I have no lies to tell. My stamina game is strong.
So I'm gonna have to knock you out in the first minute. I'm gonna have to get at you. I'm just saying, don't let these arms get around you.
Woo,
but after that first minute, I'm gonna be tapping on. All right, Jay, you good, man.
Most definitely.
So do men and women come to the table with high standards?
Well, unrealistic standards or high standards, I guess so, depending on who you're talking to. It could be high standards, yeah. Do that?
I would only say yes if they don't plan on meeting the counterparts' standards. Because a lot of times we do come with a list. And most time women come with a list of what I ain't gonna do. First of all, what I ain't gonna do, first of all, but they got a list of what they want. But their list is what they ain't gonna do.
I actually read an article. I can't even remember because y'all know my memory so bad. I should write these shit down. But they asked a panel of men and women what is on their list for the perfect partner for the opposite sex. So when they put the results together, the men had about 3 things that they wanted, to get from a woman, and the woman had a list of about 300.
Dang, exactly. I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised, and that's no hate to women. It's just we're wired differently. I read somewhere that men are like waffles, like they think like waffles, and women think like spaghetti. Right. So the reason why that is because men tend to compartmentalize things and do a task, finish it, and then move on to the next. So they're like waffle. Usually, not all the time, but usually.
Oh shit! I need to tighten up on my man skills.
And then women tend to flow from one thought to the next while they're multitasking and doing other things. So they're more like spaghetti because it weaves throughout. So I can see them having multiple lists because they're constantly thinking about multiple things, right? And
Jay, I gotta ask you a question. Since you say that, how many times have you had to support your wife's decision changing? Like I'm gonna just throw an example. 1 month she wants to be a cake maker. The next month she wants to be a pop maker. The next month she wants to be a blanket maker. Like we always support. Hey, what you want to do, babe? Oh, that's what's up. Go ahead and go for it. Go for it. Let us keep changing our mind. Oh, you wanted to do your little show earlier. Now you want to do this? Like, nah. You know what I mean?
I can't even front. And me and my wife's relationship, that's actually me. It seems like every month I'm changing and saying, you know what, baby, I'm gonna write a book. I'm gonna be on a show. I'm gonna do this. That seems like me. She's more the steady course person.
And she seems like a great cheerleader.
You can do it. Exactly. Don't get me wrong. She'll give me that look like, what you doing? Yeah. You just did that last, like, really? Okay, but
this is what she did. This is what she do. Jay, you can do it. Get on the phone with her, girl. He trying to do something now. He's all over the place. He is all over the place.
I mean, I'm not gonna say my wife has probably never talked about me to her friends, but based on our relationship, it's very rare that we talk about each other to other people unless it's someone like really, really close to us, and we try our best not to do it in a negative manner. Right. We try.
Trish, how do you feel about a man all over the place?
You mean in things that he wants to do?
Thought process, just all over the place. Just he don't seem settled.
I don't really know what to think about that because I mean, it just goes to. I think ambition is very sexy on a man. So
that's the way I look at it. Ambition.
So is it that he's ambitious? Is it that he's trying different ways to be an entrepreneur, or is he just? So there's just so many different facets to that.
Hey, ladies, turn the volume up. Trish is spitting fire right now. Turn the volume up.
I know, right, gentlemen? Yo, if you ain't hollering at Trish, you bet to now. You hear that, man? She likes ambition.
She wants you to be ambitious because what Trish is what's crazy is, you'll have a woman or man be like, he just sit there all day. He don't got no ambition. He don't do this, that, and the other. And then a guy that has ambition, he just all over the place. Like, where is the damn median?
Right.
No, because you know what? Like, you can be someone who tries something different every month, different week, or whatever the case may be, but maybe it might be that one thing that you try is just going to blow up, right? So
blow up, exactly.
I mean, I don't think there's anything wrong with that. It doesn't, I think that's the old way of thinking, you know, back in the day, you need to be a doctor, lawyer, or an engineer or whatever, and that's the only jobs that you knew back then, and that's what you stick to. No one was trying to think outside the pot, right? So
right.
So I don't think I have anything wrong with that, as long as he's not, you know, doing anything illegal or trying to, you know, go into family debt, or like, as long as, you know what, it's ambition and they just want to try different things, I'm good.
So I agree with that, because even when my wife and I first got together, my wife knew my expectations. She knew that I was a very creative person. She knew I had those ambitions. She knew that I wanted to get to a certain level by a certain point, right? So she knew I had those expectations, and she met me there. Now I've been off the market for over 16 years now, so I don't know what the landscape looks like now. But all I hear is that people like, well, oh, he better do this, he better do that, oh, she better do that, oh, she better do that, and it's like, okay, but what are you doing? What are these expectations that everybody has, but they're not willing to meet people all the way there?
So, Mr. Positive and Strong Talk, the reason why I brought that up is because when people come with these lists, you got to realize you need to write that list in pencil if you want a relationship that lasts, because everything is going to change. You be like, I want a man that look great in a suit. So as you get older, you gonna gain weight. So what if he stops looking great in a suit? I want a man that makes this much money. Are you gonna be able to handle a man that has that type of stress? Because with more money comes more racism in the Black community. Trust me, if you're making six figures, you definitely dealing with some racism, because the higher you go, the less and less and less you see of yourself. And I'm just speaking from my experience.
So the both of you are married, and I'm the single one in this circle here. And I hear that question a lot, because, you know, we talk about Kevin Samuels, we talk about, you know, we're in Clubhouse and we listen to all these relationship rooms, and we hear men and women talk about what they want in a man, what they want in a woman. One of the things that I never really hear, and actually I don't think I've heard anyone say, and this is what I want, honestly, at this point, I don't know if it's because of the stage I am in my life, but I just want a partnership. That's
what it is, and that's exactly what it is.
You know what? I'm a woman. I'm used to. I know how to change my car oil. I know how to. I clean my own car. I take my car for its own service. I mow the damn lawn. Even when I was with my kid's father, I used to mow the lawn. But it would be even better to be mowing the lawn while my partner is probably raking up the grass, or while we clean the car together, right? I'm not looking for someone to pay my bills. No, let's pay it together, you know, regardless of how that looks. And I don't hear that word partnership. So
and you know what's funny about that though, Trish, is that I remember me and my wife we never really bickered, but there was like this low-key animosity towards each other, right? And it was mostly because of who we were hanging out with. A lot of the couples that we hung around with at the time, they fussed at each other. They demeaned each other. They would call each other everything but their actual names, right? And then we moved to a new neighborhood with a new set of couples and friends. And I remember there's this one couple that would always come over to our house. And this couple would always say, hey, baby, how you doing? And they would speak so much loving, positive energy into each other. Exactly.
Yes.
And the funny thing about it, though, is like we were talking to them one night and we were like, hey, like, how did you guys get like this? And they're like, well, first of all, we didn't start off like this, but the way we look at it, we're a team, we're a partner. And I kid you not, Trish, they were saying the exact same words that you're saying right now. And they're like, that's the way we look at it. Like, I don't make a move if she don't make a move. I don't make a move unless he make a move. We work together. We talk about everything, and we are a partnership. And ever since we heard that, that has been me and my wife's mindset. Do we agree every time? No. Do we have the opportunity to talk? So yeah, it's the way it works. So partnership, I completely agree. So coming with a full list of expectations with, as Dee was saying, that you're not willing to be able to erase some things or change some things along the way, yeah, you might be fooling yourself, male or female.
Yeah, and as a single woman, I don't hear that. Like even for men my age in their 40s or 50s, whatever, I don't hear it. Are you still like, I know we hear a lot about women saying they want a man making this type of money or doing this, but I hear it from men too. And I don't hear this thing around partnerships. So what is your ideal, or what is your idea about what a relationship looks like, what it's supposed to be? Why does it have to start with money, how much money you're making, where you live, what type of, why does it start with that, but not who the person is and what they bring?
Right. Yeah.
I think you could tell a lot about a person about what they talk about the most, particularly when it comes to relationships. So if you're talking to someone and all they can talk about, is I just want somebody with money. I want someone that we can like build with money. Like if money is a conversation, it's probably because they have lack of it in their lives.
Right. Yeah.
I mean, I have lack of money in my life, but I don't talk about it all the time. But I think I get what you're saying.
Yeah.
So to me, the goal of a relationship is not what we share as interests, is what we share as a priority. That's what truly can build a great relationship. That priority is this family moving forward in a happy manner. Not all of us having the same interests, but the priority is the family and the happiness of it. A happy spouse, not a happy wife, happy life, a happy spouse. And the kids are a priority, but they aren't a priority over the husband and wife. They should not be, because once them kids roll out, now you got to try to rekindle some things, and it might be dead. You might be knocking on the
My thing is that we, in most cases, not all, most cases, you both were together before the kids. In most cases, not all, but most. But even if there are kids after you, I mean, before you guys get together, once you are together and you both can make that commitment, you have to understand that relationship has just as much priority, if not more, than the kids.
Right.
In certain situations.
So you started off about expectations. So let's just say, God forbid, either one of you get divorced. I'm not calling that down on you, but you're back on the market.
Yeah.
You've been in a long-term relationship. Dee, you've been married a few times. If you were,
I was in a long day. My first marriage was 20 years.
But you've still been married a few times.
Yeah, but my first marriage was 20 years. So don't take I've been in a long relationship. I have. Don't take that part out of it.
He gets credit for them 20 years.
Hell yeah, I get credit.
Well, go ahead, Trish. What's the question?
I don't even know now.
I don't. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
What would be the expectation for? Okay, so because you guys have had all this experience, and I think because myself too have had experiences.
Right.
My expectations. It's not about money. It's not about what you're bringing to the table. Honestly, not just partnership, but I just want a friggin' peace of mind, right? I don't want no damn headache or stress, right?
Right.
So what would be, and I know that you guys have been in some clubhouse rooms that I've been in. We've had these discussions. We've heard conversations from other men. So what do you think are the unrealistic expectations that men have these days when it comes to women? And what would be your expectations?
Wow.
That's a hard.
Wow. What unrealistic expectations?
Yeah, go ahead. Because what I was gonna go with was if I'm ever single again, my priority or expectation would be to just fix myself. Because at the end of the day, like you said, I've been married multiple times. At the end of the day, it's like I'm the common denominator.
Okay,
there's always been a different face, but I'm the common denominator. So
love that.
My priority with my expectation of the next person is, can you accept what's coming with me? I'm coming with a nuclear family. I'm not forgetting anybody because I'm falling in love with you. So you're gonna have to, you ain't gotta like shake hands and fall in love and everything, but you're gonna have to accept that I have a mother over here with 3 kids. I have another one over here with the kid, and we're gonna talk. And you're gonna love my kids, or
you're gone. Yeah, there's a saying, you know, everyone has
take all this luggage.
Everyone has baggage, but you want to be with someone who can help you unpack.
Yeah, I don't want my luggage in no damn Safeway bag or no Walmart bag. I want my luggage in some nice ass luggage. You know what I mean? I want pack me away.
You don't want it in any more luggage. You want to be able to unpack that shit, and you want to be
exactly.
Exactly. No.
So I think what both of you saying are like spot on. D, from the just of the matter of just being able to know yourself and what you're bringing to the table. And then like Trish is saying, someone to be able to just help you unpack it. At this part in the game, yeah, if me and my wife were to split ways, I think I will be looking for someone that could help me unpack, not hold the burden or not fix me, but just help me unpack and build and be a better version of myself while they're being a better version of their self.
Right. And then you run into the fact that if I come to the table, I'm like, look, I'm a 3-time divorcee. I have kids. I have this, that, and the other. But you're talking to somebody that don't hear that. All they hear is, I got a man that's interested in me, because they've been, you know, they looking for a man. They don't even care, because we've seen some articles, Jay and Trish, we've seen some articles where there's multiple women with one dude. It's some women out there that don't give a but then they can't handle when all of it's in their face, because at first all they wanted was D factor. You know what I mean? Oh, D factor. I just want D factor.
No, I'm laughing, but I agree, because I know I have that same kind of issue too. Is that like I used to jump from relationship because I didn't want to spend time with me. I was a hoe. I ain't got no lies to tell you. I was. And like I because there was something inside of me that I was running from. So if I were like, me and my wife were to part ways, I would have to spend a good amount of quality time with myself before I moved on, because that's the maturity level that I'm at now before I went to anybody else.
Right.
I think if I met a man who was divorced 3 times, and even if he had 8 kids, I mean, those kids are a part of him. So automatically my love for those kids are there. But if I met a man who has been divorced 3 times, I would want to, as a woman, I would want to make sure that he is taking care of himself, mental health, everything that is unchecked. Because when I left my relationship, I worked really hard on my mental health. I'm still doing that. So I know where I want to be. I know where I want to go. So I would want to make sure that, you know, he's still not affected, because there's some men out there who've gone through so many different relationships that the reason why they're going through so many different relationships is because the first one fucked them up or messed them up.
Oh, yeah. So
I would want to.
And what is it? A lot of times, a lot of people, when they, particularly if you've been married for a long time, your second marriage tends to be the opposite of what your first marriage was. And you completely flip the script and try to find completely different what your first marriage was. And that's why a lot of second marriages end up failing, because you go this complete opposite way. Right.
So here's my thing as a woman who's single in her 40s, and I I would want a man around the same age or a little bit older, right? I find as though a lot of the men that are around my age or a little bit older, they're very as the single ones, they're very, very focused on how the woman looks. Like, I have 3 kids, right? So I mean, my body, okay, I don't think I look bad for having 3 kids at my age, but it's like they have this expectation that you need to be this fitness model or you need to have Beyonce's body, or I don't know what the case may be, but I don't think that's just
50-year-olds. I think that's like 20-year-olds too, to be honest.
I understand what you're saying, but I think that's I think that's what a lot of women are facing these days, and I think it does have a lot to do with social media.
Social media, magazines,
got your anxiety up here. Yeah. So if you got that type of anxiety, so how are you supposed to confidently love somebody if you always got to think about, does he like my body? Does he like my body? Does he like my body? And trust me, men go through it too. Because like, me and Jay, maybe not Jay, but we got dad bods right now. So if we were ever to hit the streets, me and Jay, we got to hit the gym immediately.
But there's a lot of women but more women would accept that dad bod than a man would accept a woman.
I know, but I don't accept it.
Well,
like the first time I get naked with somebody, dope body.
Just turn it right though.
I think both of you are 100% correct, because as D is saying,
yo, we got 2 points tonight. Trish, we got twice tonight. What's up?
D brings up a good point that a lot of men don't talk about, that they are so self-conscious about their body. Exactly. And I know one of the reasons why I got back into fitness is because I just was unhappy with my body. And I was like, you know what? I got to get to the point where I feel sexy again. Like, I got to get to the point where it doesn't matter what anybody else thinks. I got to do it. You know what I'm saying?
Jay, I don't know if you went through this, Jay. I don't know if you went through this. You remember the first time you thought you had a man boob? You was like, is that? Oh, hell no. Hell no.
I remember the first time I was brushing my teeth, dog. I was brushing my teeth. I'm looking in the mirror with my shirt on, and I turned to the side and I saw it look like a little slide. I was like, oh no. Exactly. Right?
Because as you age, your mind is like, it's like the puppy. It's like a puppy don't know it's big as hell. You can't just keep running around the house. You're knocking furniture down. So your mind is like, yo, I'm still looking good. And then you catch yourself in the mirror and you be like, especially during COVID, because all of us been wearing sweat gear hiding a lot of stuff. And then you catch yourself bent over and look in the mirror.
I feel bad for a lot of people. A lot of states are lifting these bans. A lot of I'm sorry for Canada, but a lot of places, they're coming out the woodwork and they're lifting all this stuff. So when you go back to work, you're going to have to buy some new clothes. Get it right, get it tight. You know
hey, before this question leaves my mind right here, we're talking about relationships, families, and the expectations. Do you feel, now that we've been out here in these streets, do you feel like you need to meet their family first so you can see what the hell they grew up with, to see what they expect? Because sometimes the way they seen their father come up, the way their mother raises a family, they're gonna expect that from you, because you always get that you supposed to, like, what can you give me this supposed to list? Because my father did all the lawn work, this, that, and the other. My mother did all the cooking and this, that, and the other. So I expect that. But if I don't get it, I understand, because maybe it wasn't like that in your household when you were growing up.
I don't know what Trish is going to say, but for me, I don't know if that would be as important for me at this point, because if I had to meet someone's parents at this point, chances are they probably aren't even going to be alive. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah, at this point, damn. Yeah.
At this point.
Damn,
there's a good possibility. I'm just saying. They might not be around. That might not be a factor for me.
So you just got to go with it. Like, I don't know what I'm getting.
Because for real though, like, don't get me wrong, like, I'm a man, so like I see 20-year-olds and I'm like, oh yo, she cute. Oh yo, she fly. But it's weird because I don't know if you had this issue, but like when I was like in my early 30s, late 20s, early 30s, there is this mental shift of that I could be looking at a female and I'm like, wait a minute, is she my age? Is she older? Is she younger?
Yeah,
I'm like that. And then you have that weird conversation with yourself, and you're like, "Oh, she's younger. Oh, abort mission." And it's this weird thing that goes in your mind. And now I'm at the point now, like I'm almost in my 40s. Like on my birthday, I'll be 40, and I don't think I could date anyone 10 years younger than me personally, because I feel like the life experience or life. My
second wife was 11 years younger than me, and I think I went through it every day. Like,
right?
Yeah, you could tell she came up in the social media era. You know what I mean? You could tell.
I mean, I wouldn't knock it, but I don't think I would be looking for that. I would have to find someone around my age. Personally,
it's hard because even if you date an old soul, like, she's 11 years younger than me, but she got an old soul. Her fucking friends are probably immature as hell. You know what I mean? They're probably that that 10-year younger than you mindset. And then when they would come around, it was just like, ugh. Yeah. It definitely weirded me out when the friends came around. Dealing with her was cool, but when the friends came around, then it was like, yeah, I'm in a younger group now. You know what I mean? I'm in a younger group. Oh, yeah.
Oh man.
I think for me though, it's not about meeting the parents and it affects anything to do with me and that person, because I think by this age, you know, we all come into ourselves regardless of who or what our parents are.
Right. Shit, I'm like my daddy to this day.
Yeah. Well, you know what? Whatever the case is, I don't think that's going to influence my relationship with them. But what I would love to see is their dynamics and interaction with their family, because
that's what I mean. Yep. Yeah, that's exactly what I mean.
Because family is very important to me. And I think when you have rifts, or let's just say the family doesn't like me, or they're not getting along with family, those types of things causes problems in your own relationship with your mate. And that's and as I said, I don't want to have a partner in my life and I have stress. But you know, there's certain things you can't predict. But I would just like to see what the family dynamics is like.
So that brings up another part of the question, is that, so if we're at a point where we're dating other people at our age or older, all of us have kids, right? So say your kids are adults. How much does your kid factor into your relationship now because they're adults?
If they're adults, 0.
Yeah. Well, my daughter is 22, and I remember the last person that I had, she was the first person to meet that, because she was a bit older.
Yeah.
The thing is that whoever I'm going to be around have to have some sort of mesh or jive or chemistry with my kids, because my kids are not going anywhere, and it goes both ways. You know, it's not that my kids are going to have an influence on it, because listen, they're going to go live their lives and leave me alone, and I'll be by myself at one point in time. But as I said, it's family dynamics is a big thing to me. So I'm not saying that she's or my son's going to have a say, but I need to know that person, whoever I'm going to be with, has some sort of chemistry or relationship with my kids, you know, and that it's not strained by any means necessary.
But how old are your kids going to be when you still need them to mesh? Your kid's 30, you still need them to mesh.
No, I'm talking about when it's starting off, because I think that's when it's most important, right? Because you want to have support, right? For me at my age, meetings, like, you guys know me, I'm very straightforward. Like, I'm very blatant, and I am very intentional in the things that I say or do, or what I want in a man, or what I want in my life. So, you know, if he's not ready to have a woman with 3 kids, or if my kids are too much, or whatever the case may be for my kids, then I'm sorry, I can't deal with you, because my kids are still a big part of my life right now.
Right. Oh yeah, big time. Big time. I'm with you on that. I'm with you on that one.
No, I agree completely. One of the things I've always said is that my kids will probably end up taking over my life if I became single, widow, or whatever the case may be. But
you are mad morbid tonight. You are so morbid tonight. That's the second time you done brought death into the conversation, man.
Talking about death is not morbid. It's just it's a part of life, man. It happens.
You good?
We have
You good?
Actually, man, I'm going. No, I'm playing. But it's just what I'm saying. That, you know, kids, like, it's like I get it. Like, I think, like, whenever I would start dating again, there would have to be some kind of meeting to make sure, not necessarily to get my kids' approval, but to make sure that everybody's cool. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because I would hope my kids are mature enough to be like, hey, Dad, you might want to look out for this. We kind of see this, or she's fly, she's dope, whatever.
So. Especially if you're a tight family.
Yeah, exactly.
But if you got kids you only see once a year, I don't give a shit how you feel about my home, my girl.
And that's part of our chemistry, right?
Agreed.
The expectations in the relationship, and expectations and what. I mean, I don't even hear people talk about these kinds of things when you talk about expectations in relationship. I don't know if it's probably there because they're younger, or it's just that Actually, no, it's not true, because a lot of the groups that I were in, especially in Clubhouse, there was some women who had kids and went through divorce, and they were talking, yeah, I want a man to take care of me. I've been struggling for so long. The thing is, it's like, why didn't you learn from that past relationship that, you know, work on yourself, get yourself to a place where you love yourself, where you're dependent on yourself, where you're, you know,
because she's still in combat mode. She's still in PTSD mode. That's why she's still combative. She's so mad at the ex. She's mad at the next dude.
Yeah, you can hear the when I listen to some of these people, and the thing what I love too about Clubhouse is that you can listen. You're not seeing the person, but you can hear it in their voice. It's like, you still have some anger in you that you need to go deal with, and for some of the men as well who's been wronged by women, or who have crazy baby mamas, or whatever the case may be. Why are you talking about your expectations in a relationship when you don't even know what your own expectations for yourself is?
Oh, I got some chicks from high school that I'm still mad at. They better not roll up on me on the street, because it's gonna go down. You know what I'm saying? I'm still mad at them.
Meet me in the streets.
It's going down. You know what I'm saying?
Man. Trish said something, and I had something, but I forgot what it was.
Oh, it's all good. But I agree with that. Like, there's so many people out here who are mad and don't even know they're mad, or at the very least don't want to acknowledge that they're mad. All right, what up? What is it?
I know what it is now. It's like, so Trish, when you said we talking about combative and mad at the ex. So let's say when me and Jay approach a woman and she's been hurt, scorned, damaged, she'll be like you'll just be like, hey, how you doing, young lady? I know your type. Nope. Nope. Wow, you judging me? I just said hello. How you doing? Yeah. Like, oh, I know your type. What? All right.
Well, I would tell you to run, because that girl has some deep issues. And two,
oh, trust me, we don't keep trying. No, dude.
Yeah, because y'all idiots if you keep trying.
So I think at this point, like, you both know me well enough that I like, if I had to approach a woman nowadays, I'm usually very respectful. I'm the kind of dude that'd be like, hey, my name's Jay. What's your name? Do you mind if we talk? And stuff like that, right?
Big words.
I know, right? Big words.
Hey, I got big words. Big words. And Trish gonna be like, what the fuck? What are you talking about? Slow it down, dumb it down for me. I need to know if you like me. You seem like you like the universe.
Yeah, I'll just pick up my phone. Hey Siri, what does that mean? Hey Siri.
What is that you just picked up? What did you just pick up?
Oh, Trish was messing with me earlier because apparently I use a lot of big words. I use a lot of big words. But so I've noticed this thing on different social media platforms where women have an issue with men. Well, I got to be careful how I say this, because I've noticed this growing trend of women angry because men will, I don't want to say just speak to them, because I know there's some buildup, there's residual there, because women get catcalled, they get talked to all kind of different ways. So I get that aggression, right? However,
get it too, bro.
Yes, we do get it.
Oh,
but the thing is that, like, I think a lot of women are so quick to dog or bash a man when he could just simply say hi, or the fact of the matter, he's holding the door for you, not because he want to get with you, he's being polite. You know what I'm saying? So this expectation of like all men are trying to get with me, which granted, maybe they are, but at the same time, they really not.
95% of them probably, smash and dash. Smash and dash.
You're like not helping me with my point. You're not helping me with my point.
Bad. Like Chris Rock said, when a man open the door for you, he not opening the door for you, he offering you that. But I mean, I can't, like Jay said, there are 5% out there that don't want to sleep with you. There is
Well, I mean, there is, and even if he does, chances are he's probably not going to say anything. He's going to simply hold the door and let you go about. He might say hi, but that's probably it. Hopefully,
maybe it's just me being naive and stupid, but I get what you're saying, but like I say hi to everybody. If someone says hi, or they say, baby, let me holler at your mom, and I say, you know what, I can't today, maybe a next day, but I know I'm never gonna see them again.
Cause Trish, my sister, you are a rare unicorn.
No,
why
am I disrespecting someone that I don't know, or because of the way he looks? Like
Trish has a trail of broken hearts behind her because she was so sweet and nice to a guy, but she was just being sweet and nice, dude. Get over it, dude.
I know,
she don't want you. She was just being nice.
Oh, that's not it. But if someone is going to say, "Hey, beautiful, good morning," what am I going to say? Oh, don't talk to me like that. No, I'm like, I'll say, "Hey, man,
thank you." Well, that I understand, because I have, like, if I was married or if I was single, I have no right to say, "Hey, beautiful," because I wouldn't say that to a man. Why? I can say, "Hey, how you doing?" Or, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, there's no point.
Yeah, I don't think I verbally say, "Hey, beautiful" to a woman. Yeah, not in this day and age.
Like, I don't think I've ever said that to a woman.
No. Huh?
For one, nowadays you got Me Too. All this.
Why would I say "Hey, beautiful" to a stranger? You know I would never say "Hey, beautiful" to a stranger. So I just say.
I told a guy about 3 weeks ago. Where was I? I think I went.
Oh, guys don't matter. We don't care. Y'all sexually harass us all the time,
right?
You grab our chest, you grab our ass, you grab our arms. I
never do that, but I say, "Hey, handsome, how are you?" And he's
well, not you specifically, but guys are sexually assaulted all the time, but it is socially normal.
It's normal. Oh. They grab my arms. They grab me. They just grab, and I'm just supposed to take it.
Okay, but you like
I used to be an assistant manager at a store, and the manager used to sexually bother me and make comments and all this kind of stuff. But because I'm a man, I took it and I was like, okay, whatever. All right, whatever.
Do you take it because then you think that if you say something about it, it will make you a pussy? Because
we don't even think about it. That's the point we're trying to say. We don't even think that is sexual harassment. We just take it as conversation.
So it doesn't bother you.
Well, at first I was flattered, and then I was annoyed, and then I was like, "Yo, should she really be doing all this all the time?"
It's definitely annoying. It's definitely annoying if they try to make advances and it just don't stop. But the flirty, blah, 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 that's cool.
Yeah. Okay. But then it got to a point, I was like, no, then I got to a point, it was just like, okay, this is what it is. Let me just go about my work and it'll be done. Because for me, I think the difference with men and women, for me, I didn't see an immediate threat. I feel for women, it's more of a threat aspect to it, for whatever the reason is.
Okay, so I think if it's a guy that the woman doesn't think it's attractive, then they look at it as they will react differently than if it was a good-looking guy doing it to them.
Bingo, because I ain't never brought up on sexual harassment charges ever. Ever. Nobody ever said, Devin said my dress looked nice today, and I felt never. But that little Charlie with the loose eye said, Charlie down the aisle said my dress looked nice. Oh my! I'm scared. I said the same thing.
I agree with D. I agree with D. That I don't think I've ever made a woman feel sexually awkward or anything like that. Because one, I read the signs, and two, there was always this attraction level, to my knowledge. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. I think it becomes down to attraction and a power thing. You know what I mean?
People hated me for saying this, but some people need to know their looks budget. Some things you can't afford to say or do. I'm going to leave it at that.
Hold on, let's not glide over that. Looks budget?
That's a whole nother show, bro. That's a whole nother show. Everybody got a looks budget.
Wow. I don't even want to ask what mine is because, wow, that's crazy.
Some people can get budget. And some people, looks budget, man. Like some women can get out of speed tickets. Some people pay double. You know what I mean?
The cop mad because they had to get out the car. Then they mad again because they looked at you. You paid double today. Stacked up.
Trish, how many speeding tickets you paid, Trish? How many speeding tickets? Man. How many warnings you got?
So you want to hear a little story?
Yes. Here we go.
So I was on, I don't know, should I be saying this? But I was on the 407, which is a toll highway here, going for work. And so everyone calls me Vin or a speed demon because I have I drive manual. I love fast cars.
Oh, you can drive a man. Oh, snap, Trish.
Yeah. So here, if you're doing 50 over the speed limit, your license gets suspended.
Wait a minute. 50 kilometers over the speed limit or 50 miles per hour over the speed limit?
Kilometers.
Okay.
yeah, both of us like, what the 50? What?
It's 20 here. I was like, man, we need to move to Canada.
I know,
only
right?
at 50. But go ahead, Trish. Go ahead.
So that's like a license suspension for like 3 years. Your car gets towed and whatever, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't realize that I was going 53 over the limit. I really didn't, because I was in the fast lane. Cars were going this morning, whatever, and I get pulled over. And that was like immediate like suspension. So I looked at him and I'm like, officer, I didn't even realize, I'm on my way to work. And, then I kind of zipped my shirt a little bit. Like I had not zip it, I had a button. And I know I had the music playing, and I'm like, I looked at him and I'm like, how is your day going? And I said, I've never had any tickets before. I apologize. And he's like, you know what? I'm going to let you off on a warning. And I'm like, what, girl?
Your looks budget.
I know, right? I don't even know how to feel about that story, because for me, I think I've been let go of like one ticket every other time I've had to pay. Every time. So I don't know how to feel about
one time.
I'm clearly in the negative. So
I got a ticket on Thanksgiving with my family in the car. They didn't give a shit.
They were mad because they wasn't able to go home. That's what that was.
Yeah, I only got one. I only got one. It was the one that I told you guys when I got pulled over last year in a very white neighborhood, and it was like a back street with my kids. Remember, I told you guys I was kind of scared when I told my kids.
Oh yeah.
So if you're listening to the show and you haven't had a chance to watch this on YouTube yet, I guess you already have assumed Trish. Yes, she is the prettiest of all of us. It is very clear by this episode.
What?
Well, you just said that she the one who has the high looks balance. She ain't getting no tickets.
You're gonna have Devin's gonna have like an aneurysm right now for you saying that. Look at this.
No, right? Well,
Jay, you are the prettiest on here, man. Look how your glasses sit right there on the bridge of the nose, man.
Well, I can't front, man. Pretty Ricky's what they call me, so it is. It's what it is. But after that, we got to go ahead and get prepared for.
You have now entered the hot seat.
All right.
Yo. Oh, look at what? So check it out. Here we got the hot seat. So I brought up something earlier in the show, and I was like, boom, we need to talk about this. Let's just Trish. I know you've been a professional. You've been out there. You've been all over the world. More money, more racism. Does that statement make sense to you?
Yeah, I think it does. I really think it does, because when you have more money, you'll be driving the nicer car, probably wearing the nicer clothes, and depends on the neighborhood or wherever you go. They're gonna first thing they're gonna think you're in drugs.
Yep.
They're gonna think you didn't get it legitimately. 2, when cops pull you over, who does that car belong to, right? They wouldn't think it's yours, right? So I mean, there's so many things around that. Or they'll see a woman or they'll see a man. Oh, maybe his woman got him that, or her man got her. Like, they wouldn't think it's legitimately your money, or you earned it. Yeah, no.
Yeah, Jay, what you think?
Whereas if you see a white person driving it, or have the oh yeah, they work for that shit.
They work for it. Yeah. They work for it. You can't be a lawyer now. You either a basketball player, football player, drug dealer. You something. You entertaining somebody to get that money. Yeah. Especially if you sit in first class. But go ahead, Jay. What's up?
Absolutely. I actually used to work in the corporate world. I used to be a coordinator for a clinical skills center, and we had to go through security almost every time we went in. I mean, we had back doors and stuff, but most of the time you had to go through security. And tell me why your boy got stopped almost every time I had to go through security.
Wow.
Almost every time. Because the people knew me. Like, they knew who I was. Like, they knew I worked there. But almost every time.
More racism. Yeah. More money, more racism.
It is what it is.
Yeah. Because the more money you make, the less you're going to see of yourself. Yeah. Trust me, the more money you make, the less you're going to see of yourself when you go to work. And you're going to deal, as a man, I dealt with so much crap at work because I was mostly the only black guy. And when you're the only black person, you have to answer for every freaking thing on the news that a black person does.
It's not even every time. You can't even slip up, because you know what? You have to your P's and your Q's, because if you ever meet a freaking we can't have this,
Right. I remember everyone used to make comments about how nice I looked or how fresh my style was or how suave I was, stuff like that.
Swag.
Exactly. But I remember there was other guys there who would come in disheveled, hair all out of place. Wouldn't say nothing about them at all.
Nothing.
No reprimand on them. But let me come in one day like that. Yeah. What?
I appreciate y'all. I appreciate y'all giving me that, man. I thought it was just me. Me.
No,
man. More money, and then like you said in relationships, if you want that man with that 6 figures, you got to realize he's gonna come home and he's gonna need to take a break. He's gonna need a mental health break. He's gonna need to let off some steam. Don't let that man come in the door and you just start barking at him when you ain't even meeting his expectations, because he's dealing with something. They on his back. Like, he can mess up anything, he's fired, but everybody else is gonna get a pat on the back. So if you want that 6-figure, as some people say, 6-figure, hey, be ready to get cussed out when he get home sometimes, because he's dealing with some stress at corporate. And I'm defaced and I'm done.
Wow. So
we're not on Clubhouse.
I know. But Jay need his cue.
As always, we talk about a lot of real stuff here. We give our opinions on what's going on in the world. And today it happened to be on expectations and our different thoughts on a bunch of different things. And all I got to say is, if you have expectations, there is nothing wrong with you wanting better. There is nothing wrong with you wanting what you deserve. Just please be mindful that if that's what you want, you got to be willing to give it as well. Mr. Positivity, my boy D Factor, my sis Strong Talk, Bite the Bullet Show, we out.